You know, I used to literally walk uphill in the snow to the university after working as a barback at the Calneva in downtown Reno on the graveyard shift on my way to University of Nevada, Reno. Now, the building that resides where the old library was is something called the Student Achievement Center. Don't ask me what that is. Don't, really. I mean, I know it's, can't resist the urge, but just hold back. I have no idea. I didn't see that coming, did you? Yeah, I don't know. I do know this. When I was working in graveyard as a barback at the old library, that was where this thing is, this building here. Yep, that building where Richard Bryan now welcomes everyone. Hey Richard, how's it going? Can I call you Dick? I don't know. Anyway, I used to go to the basement of that library between classes and just sort of take a little nap because I was working graveyard, taking classes during the morning and the afternoon, got what little sleep I could, and then went back to work. And at the time, I was giving most of my paycheck to my mom to help her pay the mortgage after my dad left her. So, yeah. And working as a barback at the Calneva. Yeah. Good times. And taking a full load of classes at this place, the business college. That was my business college, where I have a not so useful degree. Yep. School of Hard Knocks. Graduated college. And I was working at a bank and no one cared. No, absolutely no one cared. The most I got out of that degree was telling a 14-year-old to get off their iPhone because I thought they might be interested in the quadratic formula. Yep. School of Hard Knocks. Don't quote me on this. I mean, it's not like it's on YouTube, but I could have sworn there was a time when I was going to this distinguished business college when the R in Nazir had fallen off. Yeah. Yeah. Well, but seriously, you know, there were some good things I learned here. You know, the biggest lesson as far as wisdom, I was working as what amounts to a glorified hall monitor at a public high school in hopes that somehow that would be like the first step in learning the education business before becoming a teacher, which I did, but that's another story. There was a point in time when this young lady, I think she was a senior in college, interviewed me because she found out I went to this business college. After interviewing me, she decided to switch her major to engineering. I think the engineering colleges are down that way. Yeah. Not a bad decision, kid. But the big thing, the big lesson the old man got from that experience in his years of wisdom that he was lacking as a young man, as the son of a railroad foreman who didn't know any better. My mom also went to this college and she studied marketing, but she didn't know any better. She was from a working class family too. She was trying to support kids and stuff. Maybe not the perfect mom. She was who she was. Inspired me to go to school. Oh, I'm a little choked up. Used to read her textbooks as a dyslexic kid because I didn't like Dr. Seuss or kid books. Textbooks. Ooh, love that stuff. Anyway, point is, she didn't necessarily know or have the time to do networking. And this kid asked me all these questions about networking, about clubs and stuff. They've got a student union way down yonder. I'm not going to film it because I need to hike back to my car before it gets towed. Anyway, speaking of which, yeah, it's really hard finding parking at a a lot of universities. Really, really difficult. Anyway, point is, I wasn't a member of any clubs. I wasn't doing any networking. I sure as hell wasn't I was sure as hell was not in a fraternity or, like I say, any kind of club whatsoever. None. And networking is an important thing. I learned after trying to sell whole life insurance to rich people that always be networking. Always be networking. Alec Baldwin in the movie Glengarry Glen Ross, I think, says ABC always be closing. But if you're doing like commission-based sales, you really need to be networking from the day you're born. It also helps if you're pretty and rich. But everything helps. You play with the deck of cards you're given, and then you try and get the best out of the environment you have. That's my years of wisdom. That's what I learned from getting a business degree. Always be networking. I actually learned that from trying to do the thing that I went to school and got a degree for. But somewhere there's my point, and there is a value in an education, I think. Anyway, probably not the best endorsement of an education.